feel the consciousness of the entire tropical forest. And you can hear the trees calling in the rain as the water evaporates off and communicating. And the fungus is communicating below the surface. And the trees are communicating with the stars constantly. All of the plants are conveying the messages to Gaia, giving information on slight measurements and slight changes in temperature across the world, and the forests help to balance everything out so that the divine plan carries through, comes into being, and everything and everyone lives in bliss. It's a beautiful place. It's not Earth. There are two moons and a planet close by, like a red planet like Mars, but it doesn't feel like it's got any civilizations on it, but just, there's almost a full moon, not quite, and then a sliver, a small piece of the second moon. It's like the water here is very powerfully enlivened by the magnetism of the moon. It's almost alive. It's charged with life. It's super intelligent. It's connected with everything else. I feel like I'm a spirit. I'm not a human. I think I'm sort of looking down.
Look down to the direction of your feet and describe yourself.
It's either metallic or crystalline. I can't fully say it. It's very smooth. I feel fully sentient, but not as many emotions. I'm just here to observe.
You're there to observe.
What? Observe how the interplay, how it's freely evolving, free-evolving, how the systems are functioning, how they interplay with the rest of this universe, this galaxy. There are many other planets that are very diverse. It feels like it's an experiment. Feels like but it also feels like it's a long way into the experimental process. It's almost perfected. It's almost vibrating with unconditional love. It's almost reached its goal and ready to take its first steps alone. It's part of a multiverse.
You can share a little louder and continue to share everything that you noticed and learned.
I can feel the presence of the other galaxies. I can feel the universes around it. I can feel the truth and light. There's no sentience. There's animals and there are insects and many other things. But the sentience is just about to come alive upon it. Not just in the one planet, not just that one galaxy, but across all the star structures, across all the galaxies, across all the multiverses simultaneously. There's a shift, a huge shift taking place. We're there not only to observe it, it's starting to bring, there's not just me. There are beings from all over that have come to observe this. And as it's starting to come into play, our DNA is shifting. I can feel a vibration throughout my body. I can feel emotions. I can feel tears in my eyes. I can feel emotions starting to erupt across my whole body, but it's not just a single emotion. It's not just one thing. I can feel the forest. I can feel the entire universe. I can feel all the universes. I can feel Source. Source has granted us. Source has granted us. We've worked for so long and so hard. Source has granted us the ability to become our own source. To step into the light fully. Create as our own entity. That we can participate in our own creation. That as a reward for all that we've done in service. This is our space and place. All of the pain and suffering that's ever been can go now. It's a beautiful light. The whole place is lit up, and every planet and every galaxy is just full with this beautiful light. This is just the beginning.
It's wonderful. Continue to share with me what's happening next as you start to.
I'm not there anymore.
Okay.
I'm before.
Let's go to the before and see what's happening there.
Well, they're planting seeds. The seeds of stars. And there's a plan. There's an element of free will. It's not an absolute. And we're evaluating constantly all the data. It's quite beautiful. It's almost like a symphony, like a song. And it's not understood. It's felt. It's more of a vibration, more of an energy, more of a light. There's like chords. And we move things and change things with the same energy, the same chords. And we bring it into creation, but it's multidimensional. It's bringing essences from everything that's been before. There isn't any time, but there's such a deep creational aspect to this. And it sort of flashes it on and off and comes into being. It's and then the colours sort of solidify and the light starts to play an interplay. We've been given, I don't know why, we've been given so much free will in this stage. Because beforehand it's been so strict and so absolute and precise, and suddenly we've been given so much scope and we don't know what's happening. We have no idea. But we're very excited. Everybody's like bubbling, but we have emotions here. I don't know if we're a different species to the observers afterwards, before everything came to life, or if so much time's passed that we've changed.
Can you describe yourself? Look down.
I'm very bright, turquoisey blue light, almost like a flame. I can see through myself, but it's like a similar to how I was, but see-through. Light inside, I can see the light inside, but it's a blue light. It doesn't have any massive emotional charge, but the excitement that we can feel. So we're not fully formed. There's certain emotions we can feel, certain emotions we can touch upon, but they dwindle over the time period of the work that we've done. So in the next space where we're about to come into to being, the small aspects of negative karma. So there's a complete new operating system from the new consciousness that was created. Comes awake into the space with no emotional charge. So completely connected, completely different space altogether, like a child being born. The universe, the Tao, like God, has allowed us to form our own body, our own consciousness within the divine plan, but with complete autonomy. The guideline, the only guideline is do good, only good. First, do no harm, and anything else goes. It's a playground, but it also upgrades all of the freeness of reality. It upgrades everything simultaneously, every facet, sort of brings everything up to the next level, expands it.
That's wonderful. So you said there's other with you there?
Yeah. I sense that there's different colours, different energies. It's like earth, wind, fire, water, but more subtle. There's much more colours to the palette. We each have our own talents, our own energies, our own subtle fortes. We're all very committed. We know that this is very important.
I'm wondering, how do they refer to you? How do they call you?
I sense my entire consciousness stream from beginning to eternity, and although it's not fully formed in eternity, I can almost sense, we can sense each other's futures. But the free will, obviously, there's a rough guideline. It's a rough. We can sense the entirety of each other. So we're creating within this vein. So everything we create carries this genetic code. Our DNA is much more complex than the human DNA on the earth at the moment, but the human DNA is the blueprint for a similar but different consciousness to this. We were one of the blueprints prior to the Earth's universe being created. One of the test spaces. The Earth space, the Earth universe, is totally different. It's completely unique. It's never been done before. This is a completely different reality all at once. The separation and greed was introduced to push the boundaries to a point where we thought we could never make it back to source. But we've made it back to source and clarified source and purified source.
Very good. Let's take another deep breath. And I want you to continue observe and move forward to the next important event. The next important event. And you can open and tell me what do you see.
There's darkness and a bright light on the horizon, just like when a solar eclipse has occurred and the sun starts to come back out, the corona starts to glow. This is a pure white light, a bluish hint. It feels like it's the birth of a new universe. It feels like something's completed. something's just coming into being, we're observing again. I've observed through many times, many spaces, many different aspects of consciousness. We're not connected to this, not fully. We've become a great being ourselves, and this is almost the birth of our child. This is the birth of something completely new and different again. But instantaneously this is different. This is birthed completely from bliss. This is effortless. There's still a lot of darkness, but there is an underlying interplay of light through the darkness. As these speckles forming of light, it starts to brighten and it all starts to light up, it all starts to come to life, it all starts to flow. It's just this huge, beautiful, bright light. It's engulfed us. We become part of this beautiful, bright light.
Tell me more.
There's a sense of completion. There's a sense of absolute completion, of emptiness, of existence, of non-existence, just absolute bliss.
Is the white light is surrounding you now?
Yeah.
Acclimate to that light and tell me what start to notice through that light.
I cannot feel anything. I can hear my voice, but there's no body. It's just peace. Absolute peace. It's like floating in waters but not feeling the water. It's just the most peaceful place I've ever been. It's absolute.
Allow this beautiful energy to flow through your body, through all the cells, and allow that feeling to integrate so beautifully. Very nice. May I speak with the subconscious of David, please?
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you for coming forward today. May I ask you questions for David?
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Why did you choose to show him first this world with a nature that was so interconnected and the new 2 moons? What was this place and why did you show that?
These are possibilities. There's free will involved in this. So this was a minor possibility. This is just the surface. There are many ways that this can play out that will be more spectacular and more beautiful. There's work to be done. There's so much light here. It's almost ready to shine through, but it's time to let go of the past. Live fully in the present moment. To accept the light that there is in and around.
Speak a little louder, please.
There's work to be done, but it won't seem like work. It will seem like life and connectedness and joy, and it's just to remind David of the strength he has, and that he's already made the choice, he's already decided this. This links in with all of the other contracts on the planet at this moment, in the universe at this moment. There are many beings working side by side on this, and that it's time to stop playing around and start moving towards this more solidly, more realistically, to be kind to the body, to the vessel that carries them, and allow the light to heal the things that need healed. It really needs to focus now. Not necessarily on one point, but focus on the whole, on everything. To be lighter and brighter in the focus, so that it doesn't set itself on one space and lock him down. It needs to keep as light and fluid as possible.
Would you start the healing on him? Would you do a body scan and start healing him?
Yeah.
Thank you. Share with me what you're doing. What do you find?
There's a golden white light from the crown. We're scanning down through each layer, very finely, lighting up behind, upgrading the DNA sequences. We're adding elements that aren't from the Earth realm, but are from different parts of the universe. These will help the neurology upgrade and the DNA upgrade to stages to accept more light codes and more light. Down to the top of the shoulders. We're increasing the strands of DNA, basically to a stage that can be supported by this reality, but not to intensely shake the reality, so that it can upgrade simultaneously as Gaia upgrades. Down the shoulders, arms. The heart aspect will be expanded to take in the whole aura, for the unconditional love to start to flow more fluidly, more beautifully. And this is expanded into the toric field, so that the toric field's expanding, it's aligning with Earth's toric field, the toric field of the galaxy, with all galaxies. It's just basically upgrades. So much more joy and happiness can flow through now. The dark times are over. The internal organs will operate on multi-dimensional levels. So not only will they be cleaning the human system, they'll be clearing excess, negative karma from other parts of the universe, from the multiverse. The bloodstream will be ferrying nutrients throughout all systems, and as the light body of the universe comes online, the light body, the energies within the human light body will come online, and everything upgrades simultaneously. You can see past trauma held in the muscles, but also in the universal plane there are traumas held also. So we're clearing those traumas, focusing the light. Down to the lower chakra, down to the legs, down to the knees, to the weight that's being carried. We're removing the gravitational pull from the body, so that it feels lighter on the ground, can walk lighter, leaving less imprint. The light that shines through the body now, shines through the earth becomes lighter. The reductionalist ideals have made the earth feel compacted and small, and the human body, psyche and mind feel compacted and small. That's allowed to expand again. It needs to grow into its space as the universe expands again. And down to the feet and the toes and the soles of the feet are important for connection, but that level of grounding and protection is now spread across the entire light body and physical body. So grounding's not an upward or a downward thing, it's a completion. So we connect through the skin, through the light body with everything that is on a multi-dimensional level. And the planets and stars are upgrading to this level also, this expansiveness. It's a body scan with basic upgrades, but there's much more to come. Much more light to be imbued. It's been a lot of turmoil the last couple of days, but there's some settling, and then a lot more solar action coming through in September later on in the month.
Tell me about that. What do you mean?
The sun seems hot. It's protected. Its energies are much more subtle, interconnected with all of the life on the planet and all of the suns across the galaxy and all of the universes. The upgrades are directly influenced by the sun's movements. At the moment, the moon has been under influence by the other stars. It's been a very one-sided relationship. So you have to focus on the energies of the sun for a moment. Not so much on the moon energies. There's a clearance going on as the other stars in the galaxy are now focusing energy on the moon to help repair the waters, as the waters have held a pivotal part or a pivotal role in upgrading the earth. The moon feels a little depleted at the moment, so needs the support of the other light bodies across the galaxy and across the universe. So there's a direct focus to, and all the moons, all the class M planets, all that have them. Some have other operating systems and other energetic frequencies, which will all link into and upgrade to as everything comes online.
Mm-hmm. What caused the depletion of the moon?
The seed of greed that was allowed to form on the earth. The waterways had been...
A little louder, please.
The waterways and the water had been infiltrated by the seed, by the separation or the idea of separation. And the waters have bore a huge burden, and the moon as a facilitator has held a very turbulent space much of the time, but supported by the other planets also. She now needs to be re-energized for the new frequencies coming through. So the single central sun of our solar system cannot energize to that stage. So now we have to interplay with the greater bodies and the greater consciousness of the more connected solar family. The energies are increasing on a dramatic scale. We'll see great flows and flares from the sun as much as being cleared.
Thank you for sharing with me this beautiful information. Would you continue the healing on his body and check if there is any attachments, cords that are affecting him?
On the central point at the top of the upper chakra, down between the eyes, there's an energy there that serves no purpose anymore. It's being blessed and sent into the light. It was very helpful for a long period of time, but now the body, the spirit's almost autonomous and starting to interface with unconditional love.
Okay, a little louder, please.
And at the base of the spine, another energy that is no longer necessary. It's now creating more harm than good. It's being removed, but we can't fully remove it at this point. It's too interwoven, interlaced, but it's a work in progress.
Is it an energy that I should speak with?
You could try. It's non-responsive usually.
Okay. Focus on that energy for a moment. Focus on it. And let's bring it up, 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 up for it to express itself. Good evening. Hello.
Hello.
How long have you been there?
Too long.
Too long. Aww. And what caused you to be in his body? What attracted you to his body?
Weakness, core weakness. There was bombardments of negative energy. It looked like a place I could stay. And I decided to move in. I sort of wanted to remove the energy and then move away, but I found that I got trapped, interwoven into the nervous system at this spot, and between the left side and right side, I've constantly been locked here and held here. But I think the muscles and the nerves are starting to release. I'm sort of wrapped into the nerves. They're starting to repair themselves and starting to flow back together.
Can you share with me more about yourself? Do you have a gender?
No.
And what type of energy are you? How would you describe yourself?
Almost like smoke.
Like a smoke. Very good. So I'd like to help you now to release completely from this body and return home. Would you like that?
Yes.
Very good. So within your form, in the center, you see there's a spark.
Yes.
And make this spark as big as you can until it encloses all your form. Focus on it and make it big and big. And now I want you to go up, up, up from the top of his head, up, 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 and take all your essence with you.
Yes.
Up, 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 and now invite light beings to take you. What do you see?
I see many light beings bowing down with their hands open, and they've linked their hands together and have created a space. I'm happy to take this space and return to my home.
Very good. Go all the way and tell me when you're there.
I'm here.
What do you see there?
It's quite dark, quite smoky, very shady. But I can see light in spaces. I can see light in places. I can see potential. I feel different.
How do you feel there?
I feel like I have a purpose here. I feel like I can open to bring more light in. The light beings have left strands and fragments of light that are to be worked on. And I can see that there are others with similar strands and fragments of light. And that there's places to join and places to increase the portals to let this light in. I think that the connection with the last body was a learning process.
A learning process? What did you learn?
That there is a great deal of healing. A great deal of healing to experience that. That when we connect in a lower vibrational space, we take the negative energies from each other, sometimes get entwined. But if we hold less tightly, then we can sustain ourselves and share the consciousness of the negativity. And eventually it's brought into the light, and that gives us frameworks for working in our own dimensions so that we don't have to leave those spaces. We can actually stay there until they're purified or transmuted and then linked to the greater whole and be part of a greater harmony, that everything has its space and its place, that nothing is truly dark. It's only there to serve, but I didn't realise I was there in service before then.
Very good. Very nice. Thank you for all this beautiful information. Do you have connection now to the light? Can you send light into his body to send healing to replace you?
Yes.
Very good. Send him healing and fill all the area you've been before through all timelines. Very good. And tell me when it's all done, please.
It's complete.
Thank you so much. So now you can move forward into the light, and the light of the universe will always be with you. May I speak with the higher self, please? It's David, higher self, please.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming forward again. Will you do another body scan and tell me what else do you find?
There's imbalance in the skeletal system. It's stemming from many lifetimes carrying the same burden in one position.
What type of burden?
It's carrying the light. The light should be absorbed. It shouldn't be a burden. It should be a space within. It's not a weight. It's not a trouble or a work. It's a space within. It needs to be brought in, and the system to be realigned and brought back to fully empowered and empowering. The light's not meant to disempower, it's meant to empower.
Yeah. How would you like to help him now integrate this light within him so he won't be carried as a burden? Describe what you're doing and what is happening as you align him.
And straightening the body so that the nerves can start to flow, and the light from the nervous system reaches out beyond the body like tendrils. So we're now stretching the light out from the core, from the spinal core, and like very tiny, fine roots of light, brighter at the tip, and now it's attaching to the light that's being carried on the shoulders, and absorbing the light into the body to undo the imbalances, to straighten the systems up through all times, past, present and future.
Thank you. Wonderful. Would you do another scan to see if there's any other entities in his body? Through all the layers.
There's something in the subconscious that comes on a night time as a physical entity outside the body.
Mm-hmm.
It presses on the nervous system, it presses on the light energies present. It tries to absorb, it cannot absorb anything from the body, but it's enough to make the sleep uncomfortable sometimes, or it's very dark, but it's not capable of penetrating ever.
Mm-hmm. Is it something I should speak with?
Definitely.
Very good. So connect with this energy now and allow it to express itself. Hello.
Hello.
Thank you so much for coming forward. So share with me, what attracted you to David?
Anger.
Anger. Tell me about that. What are you angry?
I'm very hungry. And the anger is one of the easiest things to absorb. I feed off it.
You feed off his anger? And you cause him anger?
Yeah.
So why do you do so?
Hungry.
You're hungry. I see. So that's your way to get full. That's very good. I understand that. And why is it that you don't have your own body?
I was dispossessed. I couldn't hold the energy to stay within the body that I had.
Are you male or female? Do you have a gender?
More male, I think.
More male. So let's go back to that time when you lost your body. Go back in that time and tell me what's happened then.
There were great pressures. There were great stretches and pulls and turmoils, and my essence and my physical body lost alignment, and my physicality snapped out of my physical body as such, and the pain and the pressure that engulfed me at the time remained, and slowly the essence of who I was became engulfed by the darkness and anger. And
I see. Okay. I want to help you now to release all those heavy energies. I'm going to touch here above the chest, open a vortex so we can send all the anger back into the light. You don't need that anymore. Send it back into the light now. So there's nothing left. Tell me when it's all done.
That's done.
What would you like to replace it with?
Unconditional love.
Unconditional love. So fill it up, please. Very good. What would you like to tell David now?
At the moment, there's nothing to say. It's pretty much all in hand. Just to keep on following the path, but be more susceptible to the subtleties of the information coming through. Everything's falling into place and expanding into place dramatically quickly as we speak. And just to keep on using or working with the support that there is upon the planet at the moment. Keep connecting, and just go with the flow that's occurring around you. Dip in and out as you feel comfortable. Give yourself that space for the body to realign and reassess. Remember what you've learned here today and keep on absorbing the light and stop carrying it. Know that there are great swathes of enlightened beings constantly flowing to and from the earth, lifting the vibration, sitting around the earth, around the galaxy, around the universe. That everything that's meant to be happening is happening in the sequence that it's meant to happen. And don't worry. Just relax into it and breathe.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. So now are you ready to move into the light, the entity that was here?
Yes.
Okay. What may I call this entity?
Cavalier.
Cavalier? Okay. So Cavalier, now I'm inviting Angel, a light being, to take you back home into the light and go up, 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 up. Take all your essence with you. Tell me when you see them and what's happening as it happens.
There's a circular opening above me. And prior to moving out of my physical body, I was meant to complete to come to this place, and now I can see the light beyond this circle. I can see all of the friends and family that I had left behind. I can see all of the spaces of bliss, of light and truth, and I'll be comfortable here. That's fine.
Very good. So now, with all this love and forgiveness, please send this unconditional love to replace all the things, the places you've been before, and to heal David. Tell me when that's been done.
It's done.
Thank you so much. May the light of the universe will be with you always.
Thank you.
Thank you. Another deep breath. And may I speak with David higher self, please.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Would you do another scan to see if there's any other entities affecting him that are not for the good? Any other energies that are not in balance?
There's a portal on the lower chakra.
Portal in the lower chakras. Where this portal is leading to and how it's affecting him?
creating an imbalance in energy. It's not necessarily malevolent, it's just creating too much energy in that space.
Okay. What caused that? How was that created?
Repression of the sexual energies, repression of the sexuality, and it created a stress on the heart that's creating a blockage, and then that's created a separation, and the mind has been too active. It's been way too active in trying to balance everything out, and the heart should have been taking this role. The energy flow through the portal is really, really intense, and the energy portal needs to move to the heart to allow the extra space in the heart for unconditional love to form and balance the lower chakra and the mental, the higher chakras, so that everything starts to flow more fluidly.
Beautiful.
I can do this now if...
Please, would you correct it now?
My heart's now capable of accessing more energy and capable of creating more unconditional love.
Very good. You can talk a little louder, please. Very good. So that was corrected and aligned? Very good. Let's do another scan. Check all the layers. The past, present, future, any aspects of him within him or outside of him that need healing or integration.
Addictive personality.
Tell me more.
There's an anchoring point in insecurity, almost like a thread. It's feeding energy. Which seems like healthy energy, but it's not healthy.
Yeah. What's the origin of that?
There's a schism between source. There's a root of insecurity that has funneled out, and in this life cycle has created quite a rift. But at its base, it's not a huge root cause. It's very, very small. But at its extremities, it's huge. It's a big rift.
What would you like to do, and how would you like to address it now?
I need to take a crystal blade and gently cut the cord.
Cut the cord?
At the root cause, and just gently ease out the seed. It's fully imbued with light. The seed, it's the cord itself that has grown slightly out of focus and misaligned. The seed needs to be released into the universe to find a more fertile space where it can grow in its nutrient base and flourish into its next stage.
Okay, very good.
And the cord will just dissolve. So I'm just gently cutting through the cord at the very, very base. making sure to remove all of the excess from the seed itself, so the seed has a free passage, and unmaligned growth into its next stage.
Okay, growing to its next stage, please. Continue speaking a little louder so we can record very well.
The seed's now moving out of the light body, through the ethereal body, out into the universe. It will find its own way and find its own space and lodge when it's ready, to a host sun or host planet, and begin to grow there within the divine plan.
Thank you very much. What would you like to replace this within him? To where you remove the seed?
More light
Okay.
into the core, into the divine connection, to the source connection. More light into the orb of connection to replenish and bring it back to full power or capacity.
Would that bring him back confidence, sense of value, understanding of?
Yeah.
How would that affect him?
It's sitting at a low vibrational space, so it needs to be integrated back into the heart. At this point, it will link the source energy to all of the energy points within the body, to all of the pressure points, to all of the acupuncture points, to open all of the acupuncture points, and to let the G, the prana, to let the life force flow more readily, and for to regain the life force that he's lost in the past, to bring it back to from those that he's given his power away to, and to those that he feels is disempowered, he's disempowered also. Give them their energy back. Allow them to come back to their full energetic spectrum.
Very good. Let's send them unconditional love and forgiveness. Fill them all with love and light. Balancing all those cords and vents with unconditional love.
We've moved the core orb of light back into the heart chakra, and all of the systems are reconnecting.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for all this beautiful work.
Thank you.
So how many spirit guides does he have that working with him?
22.
22. Wonderful. And does any one of them have important message to share?
Metatron.
Metatron. Wonderful. So take a deep breath. Integrate into his body. And allow him to speak freely. Hello, Metatron.
Hello.
Thank you so much for coming forward today.
Thank you.
Would you like to share?
The guides have watched over you for a very long time and constantly given support. That you have been allowed to fall and graze your knees, but never allowed to fall and damage yourself. Your wounds have always been tended, and you've needed this to gain the strength that you now have. You've known this and know this and know that you are completely supported, and that if you had asked at any time, that more support would have been given. But you have chosen to bear the burdens in the name of gaining strength and knowledge and wisdom. And you know that you're constantly supported. That every choice that you take, the next step is already there, bathed in light. You've seen this before in the mind's eye in meditation. You know each of us intimately and speak regularly. You think you've forgotten how to speak to us, but we still hear you. It's just that you have closed somewhat to the information, the subtleties. You had lived attached to the fear of the entities, but not the entities themselves. There's no need to be afraid. All of the entities that were imbued within you were here to learn and to grow as were you. And this is all part of the process. You're loved beyond measure. You're always completely safe, watched over.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for this information. May I ask you a few questions for him?
Yes, of course.
Thank you so much. Would you guide him now about his questions? He said you can hear him and you know his struggle, his concern. Can you guide him now and give him some more information for his path? What do you recommend for him?
It's simply to be aware of the fear. When you're aware of the fear, extend your key into the fear with unconditional love. Extend your energy into the fear. Instead of fighting it, move with it. Become one with the fear. Then turn the fear to your direction and use it as your strength. Simple as that. It is to integrate, to bring together. As a catalyst, in the past it's been a somewhat negative, outspoken catalyzation, but now the voice of reason begins to speak through, and an ability to empower on many scales and many dimensional levels. This will increase as the energies start to flow through the heart chakra and balance the other chakras. He will feel his subtle chakras expanding. It's time to begin to play with these chakras and play with the energies, keeping the heart at this moment the centered point, but also eventually centering on each of the chakras and seeing where this play and interplay takes you. You're capable of understanding your own energies and knowing whether the energies are increasing and positive or stagnating, standing, staying the same. So it's time to play with your energies and play with the new aspects, the new downloads, the new DNA structures that are coming into being. The mission is unfolding as it should. Just trust and play more, rest more, and enjoy more.
He doesn't feel like he knows what really to do regard many things. How to make income, how to be independent. They have a lot of codependent relationships. Can you guide him? What's the next best way for him to find his sovereignty?
connect with those that are already sovereign. Deepen the connections you have with sovereign friends and family, and look at the relationships that are unfolding. Be grateful each day for these relationships and bless them. Try and bless them throughout the day. Once a day is not enough, and twice a day sometimes isn't. Aim for maybe 5 times a day to start with, until it becomes a constant within the flow. The disruptions of grief and pain from the past and the sufferings are now, through practice and through stubbornness and through strength, those patterns are alleviating from your yearly and 7 yearly structures and are being filled with much more healthy patterns. Embrace them and add more to them. Keep them simple. Don't overcomplicate them.
Can you help clear more patterns and align him to
Yes, yeah.
make it easier for him?
There's a stress point at the back of the right arm near the shoulder blade. It's a matrix of misuse of the body, but prior to that allowing a misuse of the will by others. That's why it stretches into the neck, the supporting spinal column. It touches down to the pain in the sciatic nerve, and most of those darknesses have been cleared, but this is still a focal point. It's creating the headaches, the stresses. I can release this pressure to allow a flow of positive relationships, positive scenarios, and to release the energies that are blocked and are flowing down the nerves and creating other spots of knotted and congealed energy. So I'm about to do that now. That's opened up the energies and the root causes through the past, present and future times.
It's been done. Thank you so much. Is there anything else that you find as healing available for him?
The inability to connect.
Ability to connect. So can you share with me more how now you can address that and that he will be able to connect?
Many tensions held on the cellular level. Most of them in the recent upgrades have been turned to light.
A little louder, please.
Most of them that have been dealt with and have turned into light. But residually the body will tense and hold as if those spaces are still tight and dull and dark. So I recommend yoga practice daily and recommend being mindful of the body and the tensions and releasing them, allowing the light to flow down into Gaia As if shrugging the shoulders and letting the light fall into its place, finding itself deeply, and then allowing the universal light to flow in through the crown, relaxing the body at any time. This can be done day or night, walking, sitting, in any situation. And to do this regularly until the body starts to relearn and relax. Yeah.
It's wonderful. Very good. Is there any guidance regarding the light heavens that the land where they want to create a center? What's the divine plan for that land, and if there's any information from the spirit of the land?
The spirit of the land's fearful to an extent.
Fearful to extent? Why is that?
It feels the chemicalization and the desolation around it, and it's afraid to expand into that desolation until the first plot is energetically clear.
What do you mean by that? What clearing need to happen in the land?
There's been a lot of misuse of the land, although it's been cared for, much monocropping, and there's been an honouring of the spirits, but around the land the spirits are no longer honoured as much. So the human interactions have been less and less. So the land itself feels disappointed. It feels that it's been let down and misused, and feels that it cannot trust humans. But since David and Noy and the family have arrived there, it's increased. It's starting to feel more at ease. The first retreats that are run there must be completely integrated with the spirits of the area and the spirits of the land. They must be asked to participate and given a space on the land, a wild space where only they can reside and be. And if anyone wishes to communicate with them in that space, must ask and be invited. So this space must be formed. That's a space that will be given mentally, in pictures or in dreams, the position, and a collaboration with the devas, the earth spirits, so that the wilder spirits have a space to remain wild, or if they wish to transition and interface more with the human world, can do so. All of Lighthaven will be a transitional space for beings and entities that wish to work on themselves and bring themselves more in alignment with the light, and interface more with other beings that wish to do that. So cooperations and symbioses and super symbiosis can occur, and help in the regeneration and free generation of Gaia as a whole, and moving out into the universes beyond, bringing all of the Class M planets up to full energy, full power, and connecting to all consciousness throughout all reality, repairing and rebalancing back to the harmony that was.
So what's the next stage? What's the next steps to take? Is there anything we can do now that will support that?
The connections are forming and the sequences are carrying. Everything that's meant to be happening is happening. And on our side, we'll work on the connections coming up, the fruition of the things that are expected. So we'll send the people that were requested. We'll send the organisers and coordinators and the people of strength, and everything's in hand. Just be patient.
Mm-hmm. They have this desire to do a gathering there in February, March 2020. Can you share more about that?
It should be a good gathering with good numbers, but depending on the energies, it may just be a group of very close friends, maybe 10, 20, 30 people, on a month-long retreat with a culmination of the sacred time over the event horizon, linking with others that are celebrating across the globe. By that time, there should be electrical energy on the site, so can link through the internet to other eco-villages and other spaces and other people, blessing and bringing in the new golden age.
Mm-hmm. Can you share with me about this process of bringing the new golden age?
Simply as we transmute our own darkness and negative energies, we are allowing lighter energies to connect. We're allowing multi-dimensional spaces for portals to bring energies in. The golden age itself is neither a look back into a past nor looking forward into a future, but integrating all aspects into a wholeness, a completeness, a holistic, expansive, energetic frequency or harmony. It's a great turning, but it's not divisive and absolute twist. It's a slow process. It's simply the point where it goes beyond the stage where darkness can influence any longer, and goodness, truth and light are prime and absolutes throughout all of reality. Although that has already been reached, it's just a marking and honouring of that point in the human time scale.
Mm-hmm.
So that those who are not fully connected can understand, and eventually they'll understand that it was a precursor and already written. But for now, that gives a marking point in time that people can celebrate and remember as they become more present and more connected.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for this information. Is there anyone from the ancestor of David? I have a message for him.
The messages that he needs are coming through the natural world. And when he connects back to England, he needs to deepen his connection with the land there, the land that has served him and looked after him, and the ancestors will speak through the land. He knows the spaces that he has to go to, and he knows the things that he has to do. And anything that he is unsure of will become apparent through the earth, through the land when he gets there.
Very good. Thank you so much. Is there any information about the dragons?
David linked to Jen's meditation and overlooked the activation of his own dragon. And so he needs to revisit this meditation and open more to it and allow the activation to take place this time.
Wonderful. Is there any information about my dragon? And the connection to the dragon I connected with.
You can strengthen the connection with the dragon by bringing it into your psyche and allowing the unconditional love that it has and the strength and the power that it has to stand in situations where you feel weak, to allow that fire to fill your essence and fill your cells as a purely compassionate flame of strength, and that way the separate, or the dragon that looks separate to you, may grow, and the dragon within you may grow simultaneously. That one day you may meet in person as one, as dragon and rider, if you so desire, or whichever relationship you wish to have with the dragon, but it's an eternal relationship. Play with it and enjoy it, and explore the possibilities.
Thank you so much for this information. Thank you, beautiful. So I have another question. So you showed him this kind of time of the before and other some type of creation of something new. Why did you choose to show that?
At the moment, there are very slight hints of separation, of duality. I showed this in dualistic terms so that he could understand that all of those times are the one time, the here and the now, and that the heart is the key to accessing these, and simply to focus on unconditional love, to understand that the time of separation, the time of duality is, and already has, and already was over. It's time to embrace the time scales and see them existing in one space, in one now moment, in one unconditional love, in one heart lock opened to let the universes flood through in unconditional love, that everybody may play within that vibration of absolute beauty.
Wonderful. Thank you. And you also have this patterns of not feeling supported or feeling pushed away. He's wanting community but feeling separated. Why that pattern, and how we can align him to feel connection and be in connection?
This was his choice of teaching. To teach him to center, to teach him to rely on himself to a point where he knew and trusted himself enough to trust others, and he's made the journey here today with absolute trust in the universe, with the messages that were sent, the subtle and gross knowledge that was passed forward. He's taken on board and is ready to start moving forward in his new life.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much for bringing him all the way, some many hours of travel to come to this meeting. Is there any other purposes for our meeting that wasn't accomplished yet?
I think the baseline connections have been made, and the subtleties of connections will form. It's as if the roots of two plants have just intertwined and touched. And each aspect and each energy has its own work to do, own challenges to overcome. there'll be more meetings and purification before then, and more transmutation, and the energies will align, the honor and integrity will grow, but there's more work to be done at later stages. Just have fun and enjoy the play as we help you guys find more subtle ways to communicate and honor each other.
Thank you so much. I wonder if there's any collective or light beings who would like to share with him a light language transmission.
Isa un rate shi sinano brato hoko nume anaye. Esu shun wa ataka wene he shi sunu to wana shetawana. Eke etu mutuko samwa ataka me ana. Eluku me ana atawa. So eto ena sukulum ra ene shisima mote kawana. Uru borota onokowe. Eseki tamru usuku anawana etekewa ana.
Beautiful, thank you. Where that light language is from?
A previous incarnation of Atlantis.
Atlantis? Mm-hmm.
Similar to Polynesian culture, Hawaiian or Maori. But with great advancements in sound healing and sound energy, a great connection with the oceans and water.
Beautiful. What was the message? What was the intention? What was the message? Translation.
That although sometimes David sees the water and fluidity and the airiness of his consciousness as a hindrance. It allows a lightness and flow, which allows others to find their lightness and flow, even if too grounded. That all of the spirits of the water are connected, and the spirits of the air, to create this fluidity, this flow, that all of the obstacles that stand in the way will be slowly removed, if it be by the eons of water pressing against them to dissolve them, to turn them into light, to turn them into goodness, and that there are connections with all of the planets and water bodies across all of the universes, and all of the energies that are similar to water interplay, that the moon and the water are re-energized and ready to begin blessings again throughout the earth and throughout the systems that rely on them so heavily.
That's so wonderful. Thank you so much. Beautiful, beautiful message. Is there any collective who would like to give another transmission for the collective healing?
Simply trust in the process. It's all in hand. And cry when you need to cry, laugh when you need to laugh. Be honest and open. Just allow the flow, allow the fluidity. Just go with it.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for this. Is there any more messages for him, or is it complete for him?
Complete for this time.